All right, guys, we are ready to go. Once I get to the right screen. All right, so we have some Democratic Republic of Congo coffee today. Let me get this moved over. This was the you were freaking out game, or not game, but computer doesn't like me moving things. But this is the bean sub of the month from Fat Beans. For those of you who don't know, Fat Beans Coffee Lab is the coffee, or is the roast people that roast. Wow, sorry, my brain is not in it right now. But they are the people that roast most of these beans that we've done the majority of our roast rates on. You can find anything and most of the beans that we've tried at Fat Beans Coffee Lab on there. They actually roast on Twitch. If you guys want to check, I don't remember if it's Lab or Labs. I think it's just Lab. Yes. But if you ever want to check them out, they do live roasting on Twitch at that, on that username. For those, I don't know if you can read it very well. It looked all right, but I will give you the description that's on there in case you can't read it. It says this month we have another first. Congolese coffee beans. We are continuing to branch out and try new origins, and this certified organic coffee comes from a small specialty coffee farm whose beans are their sole source of income. It brings a unique heavy-bodied flavor and with both chocolatey and fruity tones. The fruitiness comes in cantaloupe and orange flavors with a dark chocolate finish and aroma. This coffee can be easily joined all day. It is very cool. Brian, you saw he was in here earlier. I don't know if you were in here when he was in. But he is a very knowledgeable individual. I've learned a lot from him while branching out into this aspect of Twitch, rating coffee beans and doing all that stuff. He's been very helpful for me to help guide me through tastings. When we first started doing this, I was not very knowledgeable on the subject. But as we have progressed through it, as I've watched when I started putting the different roast rates on YouTube and then linking them onto the Discord, I've definitely gotten a lot more comfortable doing it. Trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be tasting, what I'm supposed to be feeling. Especially so he gives us these little cards for these bean subs. That you can subscribe to, and it's very helpful. As I say, most of the time I have had, I had an accident at work one time where I messed up my sense of smell, so it makes it more difficult to be able to differentiate flavors. So all these little tips and guidelines and helps, we are very, very helpful. The tastings that we're supposed to have, for example, like the cantaloupe or the orange. One, I'm not very diverse in that kind of stuff, so I don't necessarily know exactly what a cantaloupe's supposed to taste like. So if I were to taste that in a cup of coffee, I might not necessarily be able to pick that out. Whereas, obviously I've had cantaloupe before, so I shouldn't say obviously, because I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that has not had cantaloupe. But, whereas that isn't, I haven't had it enough to be able to be like, yep, cantaloupe, got it, nailed it, check mark. You know how it goes. We are looking at a medium light roast, or a medium roast, not medium light, but so this would naturally be better on like a, an AeroPress or something, but you obviously will still get some of the flavors, or not some of the flavors, but all the flavors from the drip pot. They just won't be as profound. So one day maybe we will get an AeroPress, but that day is not today. So when you order your coffee through Fat Beans, he gives it to you in these lovely bags. As you can tell, they've got a vent. As I'm noticing, more coffee beans have or more bags with the coffee as I've diversified. We had the mushroom coffee. We had this last one that I got for next week. They've all had vents, so I imagine it's got something to do with the travel for it. That way they can breathe better. I usually give a nice little look at our beans. So this is what we're looking at today. So apologize the shakiness. But a nice little light roast. Not light, but medium roast. Not as quite as dark as we have experienced in the past. But it is going to be a decent cup of coffee, I would imagine. It smells lovely. The beans smelled really good when we were grinding them up too. So without further ado, let's dive into this cup, shall we? So you definitely get hit with that cantaloupe first. I'm not particularly a big fan of cantaloupe. And I also know Brian was having a hard time with these beans when he was roasting them at first, trying to figure out what he wanted to do with them. But the cantaloupe is very strong at the beginning. It definitely, I get a very subtle taste of that, of the like dark chocolate, like it talks about in the description. It's not very profound. Again, that could be just because my sense of smell isn't the greatest, but it's definitely cantaloupe. But it's definitely got a very full body. It's not bitter at all, so the acidity in the coffee is low. It's a nice smooth cup. It does talk about, the heavy body, but well balanced, and I can definitely agree with that. While the cantaloupe is very strong and profound at the beginning, it's not overpowering. It's the first time you drink it, it's going to be, you have the shock of the cantaloupe taste. But it as you expect it, and as you get not used to it, but the first tasting is always, you don't know what to expect. Then when you do get to what you expect, it is it's very pleasant. For a medium roast, it's definitely higher up on the medium roast that we've had, based off of how the body tastes. But this is probably going to be like a 7 cup of coffee out of the 10 that we have our standard for. Still searching out for that first dime. The only one that I've had that I really would have given like a 10, it wasn't a rate. It was when we were, when I was messing around with blending. But, and so I didn't feel it was when I was I had it on the tier list when I was first making it, but we didn't do a roast rate for it, so I took it off. But it's a very lovely cup of coffee, a very good bean. I like it a lot. We will be drinking on this for the rest of the week. Big thank you to Brian at Fat Beans Coffee Lab for all the input and stuff that he does. He's been a big supporter of the channel. I can't thank him enough. He's one of the reasons why I got pushed so well to my affiliate when I first got it. And he's been a big support for the entire channel, the entirety of it being. I know he's a busy guy. He stops in when he can, and it's always appreciated. Same with MQT guy. He came in from that channel. But it's a very good cup of coffee. Looking forward to it. Next week, we have a very fancy bean, which was suggested by Trix. It is posted in the Discord if you want to see it under the Roast Rates tab. It's supposed to be a very high-class, elegant cup of coffee. So we'll see. I might have to put the pinky out and everything for it. Do the whole wine snob, breathing through your teeth kind of thing, but that's not how we do. We just make a pot of coffee and we enjoy it. But that'll be interesting. And then my old man has some bacon flavored coffee. That'll be the week after for that, which should prove to be interesting as well. Not entirely certain we're not entirely certain what to expect when it comes to that. Either of those. But I'm looking forward to it. Anytime we get to branch out and diversify our cups of coffee, it's usually a good thing. To think that I've just drank the same kind of coffee all my life, and I've been an avid coffee drinker for a very long time. It is almost blasphemous But yeah, we will go back to the coffee break screen. Not back to. We will go to the coffee break screen, and I will fill up my cup. If you guys missed any of the roast rates, you can check out that playlist right there. That was perfect timing by my barista Bo. And you can check out all of the rates that we've done on that playlist. And yeah, so we will go back to the screen and go fill up our cup of coffee. Thank you for anybody who just came to check out the roast rate. I know we got a late start, and I'm a little low energy today. Work kind of kicked my ass, but I appreciate you guys hanging out nonetheless. So we'll go back to the coffee break, and then we'll come back and try this second try run at our Iron Man XCOM. Sad to see the first one end, but caught the rate could not roast, but your tasting is getting legit. Awesome. I'm glad you appreciate it. Thanks for the check-in, Ma. It's caught the roast, caught the rate, could not type. Oh no, you're all good, dude. It's coming along. I can't thank you enough, Brian. The amount of knowledge that you've given me has increased my capabilities of doing this stuff. But yeah, we've got beans that were so it's like monkey business or something like that. Hold on, let me look. It's monkey business coffee. It's wild Kopi Luwak coffee. But it's like, so the beans have been digested by monkeys, okay? And then gone through their whole system, the whole because the beans aren't processed while being digested. So it's supposed to be, I always talk about, it reminds me a lot of Bucket List with Denzel Washington and Jack Nicklaus, whichever one's not the golfer. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, yeah. And I gotta say, you've outdone yourself, my friend. The poop coffee. Yes, the poop coffee. But that's what, it just reminds me so much of that scene at the very end of it where Denzel's like, you know where these come from, right? It's like the cat one. Yeah, from Sri Lanka. Exactly. That's what, I'm pretty sure that's the reference that I was talking about. But so we'll see what it's going to be like. I mean, I figure if we made it through mushroom infused coffee, we can make it through about anything. Like, I assume, obviously the beans have most likely been washed, so it's not something that's going to be too terrible. I think it's going to be a really good cup of coffee. It's supposed to be higher class, so we'll see how it goes. The packaging, you only get like 2 ounces of beans. So I think we might get like 1 or 2 pots for it. But either way, Trix requested it, mainly as a joke. But hey, it's coffee. Like we said with the mushroom, we don't just try out the ones that we know are going to be good. We can't get all of them. Bacon coffee was disgusting. See, Ma, that's just what we need. Add heat to the 440. Oh, and heated to 440. Gotcha. Yeah, so anything on it's going to be gone. It's not. I'm not worried about it at all. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. We will get our coffee cup full, and then we'll see if we can't do something good. We are on our second shot at this. I thought for sure that the rebuild yesterday was going to work and we were going to actually push forward. But now we've got a better understanding of how the game works. We should be able to make a push, and hopefully this will be the run that we can do it on. But I'm going to go fill this cup of coffee up, and we will be right back.